Okay, good morning. I'm going to run you through the notes since I didn't have a video for it before. Today, we're going to use a graph to help us write an equation for ellipses. And this is just a refresher review. Notice that the semi-major axis, that's the long one, is under X. So in this case, this is long horizontally. And I always want these to be opposite. So if I have plus here, I'm going to have minus here. And you'll see how that comes into play as we get to the hyperbola. When you write your equation, essentially you want these three things because you want the center, H and K, and you need A and B. Those three things and you are good to go. So none of this writing was here before. I don't have the means to be able to take that off right now. What they started with is you could see on the ellipse, and it was rewritten in red here. So you had a vertex here and here, and you had a vertex here and here, those in the red. And so if you think about the three things that we said we needed the center and A and B. So how'd they find the center? Well, center's got to be in the middle, so I can find the middle here and the middle here. You can use midpoint, or you could just count or use a graph, but you can see that the center was at 2, -4. Now, A had to be along here because that is the major axis, the longest axis. So A is going to go from the center all the way to the edge. And you can just count the squares, distance formula, whatever you need to do, but you can see A is 6, semi-major axis. B is 4. Again, you could just count them if you wanted to in this case. So now I have the center, I have A, I have B. I know there's my center, there's my center. A has to be under the X because it is the major axis. B has to be under the Y. I know this has to equal 1 in the equation. There's my equation. Now, they put this part because it says we need to find the coordinates of the foci. And that's where the c squared equals a squared minus b squared comes into play. And I see they made a mistake right there because it should be 36 minus 16. In the end, the answer is right anyways. So where are the foci? They're to the right and to the left. That means I have to add and subtract the square root of 20 to 2 to the x values because it goes square root of 20 to the right and square root of 20 to the left. There's everything you need right there. Another problem here, the equation of an ellipse. So now they give me the foci. See, 0, 0, 0, 8. They give me the foci. That tells me this thing has a vertical orientation to it. So my big number, which is going to be A, needs to be under the Y. Okay, now, so they give me, well, I can find the center because the center has to be between the two foci. So my center is at 0, 4. Okay, there's a focus, right in the middle. That's my center, 0, 4. I need A and I need B. Okay, so far I know that C is, if this is a center and this is a focus, that distance is 4. That is C. From the center to the focus, that is C. So there's C right there. They give me one more piece of information. It has a major axis of length 16. Major axis is the full distance all the way across. Okay? They have 8 because that is the semi-major. That is going from the center up 8, down 8. That gives me the full 16. So A goes from the center to the vertex. So I know A is 8. So we finish this little equation off, solve for B. B is the square root of 48. Now, again, how do I know where to put A and B? Well, we said this is a vertical orientation, which is up and down. So the major has to go under the Y. There's the major. There's my minor. B squared. There's my equation. Last one. Write the equation of the ellipse where the length of the semi-major axis is 3 over 2, or 1.5 times the length of the vertical semi-minor. The vertical semi-minor. Well, if the minor is in the vertical, that means the major is horizontal. So this thing is long horizontally. Okay? They give me the center. Remember, we need 3 things. We need the center, we need A, and we need B. Well, they gave me 2 of the 3 things. I just need to figure out what B is. So, they told me that the length of the semi-major is 1.5 times the length of the semi-minor. Semi-minor is B. 1.5 times B has to equal the semi-major. Or 1.5 times B has to equal A. And we find out that B is 4. I now have everything I need. We know that that's the major, and it was long horizontally. That means it goes under the X, minor under the Y. Voila, there you go. Good luck.